Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm sending millions of soldiers to their doom for a stadium. I feel like such a despot. Hey folks, I figured I would take a moment from all those videos I've been doing on Heroes and all the updates to the optimizer in order to do something a little bit lighter. You see, it just so happened that I maxed out all of the free sources of these energy bars that you can get, which I was hoping would put me in a position to get the city skin, despite how unlikely it would be for me to actually get a top 10 rank. As someone who doesn't really spend much on the game, I really don't have that many city skins. And even though this one's pretty silly for a medieval combat game, to be honest, kinda would just like to get it because I've spent about a decade and a half actually playing soccer. So if I was gonna try and make an attempt at one of these, I figured, why not this one? So maybe it's World Cup fever, maybe it's bad decision making, who knows, but why not go for it? The problem is that I'm not that close yet, although I think there's a chance I might be able to get it. Because currently, I'm about halfway to the top 10 and there's a few hours left for this event. But importantly, I still have a number of energy bars I haven't used because I keep waiting for the treasure points to maximize on the off chance that I actually get the MVP award. So before I talk about hacking my way into more of these energy bars, let me just share with you how I got the ones I already have. The resource one is obviously pretty easy to max out, but even the defeat beasts one, I just had a ton of stamina I used, and I timed it with that other event that gives you the keepsake chests that contain gems in them. So it was one of the few opportunities to convert excess stamina to gems, and I took it. Also, because this one fell during KVK, I spent a bunch of gems on the roulette wheel. I'm not going to do an additional 150 though without getting these bonuses, that would just wreck my account. And I used some additional gems to get to VIP 9, which importantly increased my daily income of orange shards by an extra 1, so I thought that was a good use of it. And then for the speed ups, because I was doing the typical research and building speed ups that you would expect during KVK, I realized how many of these extra bars I was getting for them. And I had a decent amount of them, but certainly not enough to get a top 10 rank, until I realized I was actually sitting on a massive stack of soldier healing speed ups. So then an idea started formulating in my head. I've been sitting on these soldier healing speed ups for a while now. I've been playing them in about a year and a half, and I think I can count on one hand the number of times I've actually had to use more than a day of healing speed ups at once. Normally I'm always just doing batch healing and such during KVK or other events, so I never actually even need to use them. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the batch healing video linked below in the description. So then I started thinking, wouldn't it be great if these also converted to energy bars for this event? And I tested it, and sure enough they do. And the rewards for these energy bars being used aren't that bad, particularly if you get the bonus shot stopper. And whereas these days have just been sitting there without any economic value to me, surely I don't need 140 days worth of them. I could probably get by with like 10, 15, 20 days and have more than enough for any situation I would encounter as a player who's not really changing the tide of castle battle. So maybe the opportunity here is to try to just convert these to a bunch of gems and forge hammers and governor gear and governor charm materials and all sorts of stuff. Surely that's a better use than just sitting here in the bank account, right? So what I'm gonna do is leave my alliance, send out a bunch of troop encampments with no heroes, and let my alliance members just absolutely decimate them while I burn through about 100 days plus of speed ups and a boatload of general resources. But I'm not really concerned about being short on resources either. And that, coupled with some luck of getting more free shots and maybe one of these jackpots, could be enough to get me into a top rank on the leaderboard. So let's find out. As you can see, bro is certainly up for the task. So I think if I've done the math correctly, I can withstand up to 5 hits at once before my infirmary runs out of room. But I'm going to try with 4 first just to double check. They're all getting in on it. Okay, it'll be safe to do a 5th one. All right, there's a bunch. And we are going to select all. That's 5 days of healing right there. Boom, quick use the speed ups. And we're getting back into it. This is kind of fun to watch. My guys are just absolutely getting slaughtered here. So it's already starting to have a bit of an effect here. And they just come directly into the pile. It's like a frenzy. They're all trying to attack me. He left just so he can attack him. My alliance is messed in the head. Oh gosh, what have I started? Okay, let's continue. It's crazy to think that every time I do this, 217,000 troops are getting slaughtered. All right, I'm actually getting a little bit low on these resources, and I do not want to be using secured ones, which for some reason it defaults to. So I suppose I have to decide how many speed ups I want to leave myself with. I think 10 to 15 days somewhere in there might be sufficient. All right, so there we are. We've added almost an extra 20,000 bars. Look, in all likelihood, it may still not be enough to get us into the top 10 and get that stadium skin, but having a bunch of extra chances at really, really good rewards is an easy way to unlock all of that value that was just sitting there in unused speed ups that was accumulating from over a year of playing. And similarly, even though, yes, it did take quite a bit of resources, it's not like all of these resources were sitting here helping me in any way. So the way I think about it is really just how do I take all of this potential in my account and actually transform it into something that's usable and can help me grow and increase the tempo of my pace of play through a variety of stats. And even though it certainly isn't the most efficient transfer of resources, it is taking something I have an abundance of and I'm probably never going to need and putting it into something that I can actually get some value out of. And if I get that stadium on top of it, great. It's a nice little bonus. All right, folks, we are back about a day later, and I was waiting till the end of this time period. As you can see, I'm trying to make sure that I can sneak my way into the top 10 leaderboard, although it certainly has been climbing a bit. I didn't want to be sitting there, particularly people in my kingdom know that I'm not really a spender, so if I was in the top 10, maybe one of them tries to knock me out. So I'm hoping I have enough gas in the tank in order to be able to jump up, but it's gonna be a bit of a tough one. You can see I've already actually used some of the energy bars. I've basically been waiting for this treasure points jackpot to get above 15,000. And as you can see, you need 10 shots or more on the shot stopper in order to actually even have a chance at the jackpot, which is already pretty low. But if you're gonna hit it, you might as well do it while the points are higher. So throughout the day, I've been going and trying to get it when it's a little bit higher. And fortunately, I've been getting some good golden shoe points off of it. I don't know if it'll be enough to get me there, but at this point, I'm running out of time, so we just need to turn auto on and hope for the best. And these lucky streaks are exactly what we're hoping for, particularly ones where it's, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's what we want, because every single one of those shots is going to give us an extra couple points. And I know in the events rules that I was just showing, it had said it was a 0.2% chance of triggering that, but it seems like it's actually been much higher. Yeah, see, there it is again. It feels more like it's in a 3 or 4% chance. All right, we're approaching 10. Maybe this will be a chance. No, I didn't get it on 11. I had one earlier today and I would recorded it on my phone. I got 13 shots on the shot stopper. And even with the escalating odds on that, I didn't get the jackpot. But right now I'm hoping I get a chance to. So when the jackpot gets up there to about this size, if you were to hit it, you're probably looking at maybe 6,000, possibly more. I've seen it sometimes get up to 20,000 on the total treasure points, but you don't get all of them. But this is one where I would hope I would be able to get it. And it's just going up quick because everyone's trying to empty the rest of their ammo on it. So I'm starting to get up there in rank. Hopefully I can get to the top 10. I still need a few thousand, I think like 2,000 and change golden shoe points to secure it. And someone else just cleared the jackpot. Well, I can't wait for it to rebuild. I gotta keep going, and hopefully whenever I hit it, if I do, it's enough to push me over the edge. Yeah, I don't think the math is looking in my favor at this point. Earlier today, the floor to beat was only about like 6,300, 6,400, but 8,000, I I don't see myself getting to there with only 230 left. I think at this point I would basically need to hit a jackpot. Ah, and the jackpot cleared out. Someone else got it. Well, I guess that's gonna be it. My plan was to keep going until I got to a point where I was on my 10th shot on the shot stopper, so that way I would actually have a chance at the prize pool. And I was gonna wait for it to come up a little bit back to that 15,000 range before proceeding, but I never got there. I didn't get 10 shots on him in a row. He kept leaving after 3 or 5, and we just didn't get the luck. So we came in just shy of 7,000 points. That's going to put me around 15th here. So I'm still 1,000 short. And again, the floor keeps going up. Everyone else seems to be in contention on the bubble here, trying to get the stadium. But it seems like it will not be me, although I probably will manage to get this 30-day one. But, I mean, it's a pretty rough consolation prize. But you know what? The more I think about it, if I take a step back and look at where we stand, I've now put about 3 million of my citizens' lives at risk, wasted billions of resources, got a one-time infusion of a premium currency, all in the pursuit of building a stadium that's not going to last me more than 30 days, and only to be beaten out by people who are richer than me. If that's not a scale model of the World Cup, then I don't know what is. So I'm not going to try and pretend that this is some sort of free-to-play hack or that this is even a good idea for you to do. I just happen to have a ton of these speed-ups that were just sitting there and seemed like a fun thing to do. So would I recommend it? Maybe. I mean, I did get quite a lot of gems and a bunch of governor gear and forge hammers and all sorts of stuff, which was also during KVK week, so that was pretty nice too. But on the whole, it did feel kind of wasteful. Although I've yet to find a better use for all of those healing speed-ups and resources that were sitting in my account, but that's probably only because I've been playing for a year and a half hoarding them all. So I can't say I'm particularly proud of myself, but given that I did all of this in pursuit of a stadium that's only going to last me for 30 days, I feel like FIFA would be. Anyway, I hope you all had a fun time watching this content. I know I had a fun time making it despite the outcome. And I really tried hard not to stray too much into guide content when I was talking about my strategy. Anyway, a special thanks to my Sloth Squad channel members who usually help make my guide content possible and are probably surprised to see what they helped make possible this time. But hey, I like to think we all had fun together. Be sure to check out the rest of my channel for things that will actually help you play better, and maybe a couple other funny things here and there. As always, folks, thanks for watching, and happy gaming out there.